ball, RJ?
I feel lucky enough. I get a double dose. 2 days in a row of RJ. I don't know if I can handle that, man.
I mean, that's why people don't watch the channel every day, dude. I just come through the screen at him. They're like, you know what? I need a break. This man's been yelling at me for like 45 minutes straight because I'm going through the playlist. I need a break. And that's how you end up being yelled about on your message boards, but that's another topic altogether.
It is. RJ Young, the content machine, OUinsider.com. Also check him out on YouTube and follow him on Twitter at RJ_Young. RJ, we talked a little bit about OU. They're going to tip off this thing here in about an hour against Ole Miss in South Carolina, Columbia to be exact, at the Colonial Life Arena. This would be a good showing for Oklahoma. Two teams that haven't really played their best late in the stretch, but they both played well early in the season. OU went on a pretty good run there towards the end of the Big 12 conference play. I kind of like Lon Kruger in this. He's been here before. He knows it. He gets it. It seems like he's getting the most out of his team at the right time in the sense that they have an identity. Guys are stepping up and making plays when he asks them to. And I kind of like OU today, even though they're a 2.5-point dog against Ole Miss.
Well, with Lon, you got really a good problem. Lon is always going to have his kids in position to make a play. He's going to come out with a great play call out of timeouts, inbounds. He's going to change what they're doing based on what they see, right? I don't worry about getting out coached when Lon Kruger is on the sideline, and that's more of a luxury than people seem to understand. But from a player standpoint, you need to get the most out of Christian James. There's just no other way to put it. If you get the most out of him, Jamal Bieniemy, he'll come along. Miles Reynolds, he'll come along. Brady Manick, he'll get his shots. But if Christian James goes for 15 and 6, Oklahoma's winning the game. It's that simple for me.
You know, when you see March Madness kind of play out, and it's everything we love about college basketball, everything. You had two different style of teams last night in Wofford and Seton Hall hooking up. Seton Hall, long and athletic, up and down the court, very good. They can press you. Wofford is kind of that perennial, really good mid-major team, seniors, a lot of shooters, handle the ball well, fundamental. And now they're going to get put up against Kentucky. But overall, isn't this kind of what we love about the NCAA tournament? You get everything. And with the one and dones and all the different things that have gone on in college basketball, you don't have the Duke super teams, the UNLV super teams like you used to have. So the parity is much, much larger, if you will. And so, just your take overall on the games yesterday and the tournament overall.
Well, I mean, the tournament's always fun, and I don't necessarily think there's really a juggernaut team dating back to the Fab Five. I just don't see it myself. I mean, Duke's always good, Carolina's always good, Kansas is always good. They're going to make the tournament. But the thing I love about the NCAA tournament is that it exists, because we continue to hem and haw about how we want 8 teams in a college football playoff, and we're probably not any closer to getting that. So things like the tournament where it goes from 64 to 68, proving that you can expand a television event like this to include more teams, I like it. I also like that, you know what they said in 1985? Let's double the field. Let's give more opportunities to teams that necessarily would not have opportunities. I mean, Wofford at a 7 seed would be like 28th at the bottom if you're talking about 7 seeds all the way. Maybe they don't make the tournament in 1984, right? And you don't get to see, I think it's Fletcher McGee, just drop. I mean, look, Seton Hall was in that game. And then all of a sudden, Wofford said, no, let me drop these daggers on you. And that's another thing that I'm really interested to see between those two teams, between Wofford and Kentucky, if they can really get their shot off. Because they've been able to get their shot off against everybody else, but Kentucky is Kentucky for a reason. And I know that they're not the Kentucky of old. They're not the one that competes for national championships perennially, but it's still Kentucky, and they're still more athletic than Wofford. So I want to see if good, sound basketball can beat more athletic basketball, and generally speaking, the athletes usually win that game.
Can you imagine? Could you just in a fairy tale sports talk radio land? Could you imagine?
Isn't that what we do every day?
December Madness. Yes.
Okay.
But could you imagine December Madness? Could you imagine a 16-team, 4-game tournament to win the whole thing? You got to win 4 games. in college football in December. You know how much fun that would be?
Isn't that the FCS?
Think about it. Yes. I mean, well, they do it in every other, the FCS, Division II, they do it everywhere.
Everybody but major college football has a tournament to win the championship. It drives me crazy. You know, every other sport has a tournament. That's what they do. I mean, softball is amazing because you got regionals, super regionals, World Series, double elimination. We're going to find out who's good here. You know, I do understand. What I don't understand is how the conference commissioners could come up with something where they're going to leave out a Power 5 conference team ostensibly, or they're going to get 2 in from one conference. Like, I just, when you guys are putting this together, I'm going, who was thinking this through? But yeah, I can't imagine it. And it's the reason that I don't watch the FCS till the playoffs start, because it's just that much more fun. It is the only time that I care about Villanova football. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about North Dakota State walking over everybody in a way that everybody thinks Alabama walks over everybody, but it's still compelling because you want to know that maybe there's a tournament team in there that can make a run at North Dakota State. And, you know, in the years where Grambling might have been good enough, they say, eschew it, we're going to go play the Bayou Classic because that's what we do. And that tradition can stay. But by and large, yeah, give me the 16 tournament. Take away 2 regular season games from these teams, play a 10-game season. I've been thinking about this too much, Austin.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, listen, first of all, kudos on dropping the FCS knowledge. That's pretty big time. But at the same time, it would be a microcosm of the NCAA tournament. You would have everything. You'd have a Cinderella because you get a non-Power 5 team or 2 every year that you can root for. I mean, you would have everything you want. And spare me the argument when people say, you had 4 games, that's too many games, you can't be playing 14, 15, 16 games. By the way, to win a state championship in the state of Texas, where a lot of college football players come from, you got to win 16, or you got to play 16 games.
You play for like 3 months. Yeah.
Yes.
You play like November to January. Like it's. Come on, that's awesome.
So spare me the argument. Spare me the argument of you're going to miss school. It's December. You're out of school anyways. I mean, I'm in with you on that. That is a podcast for a different day. It really is. RJ Young joining us right now, OUinsider.com, his site. Check him out on YouTube. RJ, real quick, you had we talked about it briefly yesterday and hit on it before we get you out of here. Neville Gallimore lost a lot of weight, and there's a telltale sign when a new regime comes in. And on the defensive side of the ball with Alex Grinch, OU, that's what they've got. When guys start losing weight, you can chalk that up. Number one, these guys are buying in. Whatever they're selling, they're buying in. You don't just go magically lose 30 pounds, even if you're a massive human being. I mean, you got to work. And so it looks like some of the key players, some of the guys who are going to have to lead, the upperclassmen and the guys that have been there, it looks like they're buying in.
Absolutely. And I'm putting together a really long piece for OUinsider.com, still working out the kinks in it, and I'm excited about it, about what Grinch is doing and how he's doing it, and how he can achieve a lot with this defense precisely for what you picked out, because we talked about a little bit with in regard to Neville Gallimore, Hercules Mataafa, who was at Washington State, who crucially Grinch didn't recruit. Matter of fact, the guy that recruited him is now coaching defensive line up there at Oregon. They landed Kayvon Thibodeau, who was the #1 defensive lineman in the country last year, and they're going to be really good. But point is, he saw what he had to work with, and he made it work. The man played a 6'2", 252-pound defensive lineman, a tackle, a one technique, a nose, a boundary tackle. And I was going, wait, that works? And it absolutely does, because it seems that the whole speed thing is, I contend that you can't make anybody faster, you can make them lighter, right? And by making them lighter, you can make them more agile and make it harder to put hands on those people. And I think you can do that at Oklahoma right now with what you have. And if you got a guy like Neville Gallimore who was walking around at 330 plus, say, no, I'm good enough, I'll drop down to 295. I can't wait to see what that looks like, because that was a dude that was busting out 4.7 at 330. Can you imagine if he's 295 and he's able to drop to 4.6?
Yeah, that might change his whole trajectory. I mean, seriously, if he becomes that much more active, have more energy, more stamina, be able to be involved in the mix, more plays, get after the quarterback when your team needs you to, that might be a game changer for him as he translates to the NFL.
Absolutely.
You're the man, RJ. We appreciate it, buddy. Have a great weekend. Enjoy some basketball, and we will catch up with you next week.
Real quick, Fight Me, 10 a.m. Sunday. Thank you, brother.
Oh, man, my bad. My bad. Nope. Let's get into it. What do you got going on with Fight Me 10 a.m. on Sunday? You and your boy, you guys bring it home pretty good. I've gotten a chance to listen the last couple of weeks. It's great. It's intriguing, interesting radio. It's a lot of fun. What do you got this weekend?
Well, we're going to get more into that. We're also going to get I got an Alabama caller who wants to tell me exactly what we need to know about Jalen Hurts and why that person has the following that he does from Alabama. And we're going to get into who are the winners and losers from the NCAA tournament, and it's not necessarily who you think. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate you.